What is up, guys? Hope you are good. Welcome again to another episode of the Beyond the Board Short podcast. Wagwan, James, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, all good, man, all good. For a minute, I
Nice.
was like, is he talking about our podcast? Because I saw the other ones now. It's like Beyond the Stage,
You're on the
Beyond the
stage.
Bikini.
Oh
So
man.
I don't know what's coming next. They're coming for us. They're coming for us, bro.
They're going like, how much? How much is your name, bro? Let's play it up.
Yeah, we got to buy that. We got to copyright that shit.
You know what, man? It's good for the industry, though. It's good for the industry because obviously, Beyond the Stage just teamed up with Men's Physique News, so that's quite cool. So obviously, you're going to be getting a lot of athletes there. I mean, the thing is, we're doing interviews, we're getting people behind bow shorts, right? Which they're essentially doing the same behind the stage,
It's
but
all we're all trying to do the same thing and bring like just a light to bodybuilding in general. Obviously, we are just men's physique, mostly men's physique.
yeah,
I only banter because they kind
it's
of
just
suck my
funny,
head.
isn't it? It's just funny.
We need to go on Instagram and see. I don't know if you can see when they change their name over, and you can see like ours is before and fucking put that on our page.
I mean, ours was well documented. I mean, everybody knew what we were doing. But no, it's good for the industry, bro. It's good for bodybuilding. It's good for the UK bodybuilding as well. I think now we're starting to get a lot more limelight. You know, podcasts coming on. Everyone's doing a podcast now, so that's cool. So like during prep, you have plenty content to watch. You know,
Yeah, and
that's good.
he posts a lot of like off stage stuff. So like you see people's check-ins and what show they're going for and this, that, and the other. So
Yeah.
no doubt, I'd imagine both of us will feature on there. I think we have already before. You have twice actually.
Have I?
So the closer we get to show, remember they asked predictions.
Oh yeah.
I
And
think it was
then
like to qualify for Olympia. I think it was
something
something
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah. No, I think there was another one of me telling people that I've started prep. I was like, bro, I haven't started prep yet. Yeah, that was just
That
a
means they're
physique update.
watching. He's watching.
Yeah, so I haven't started prep yet. But yeah, no, we'll see. Obviously, we have a new guest on today, guys. And this guy, you guys will know, is actually my coach. Rob from Team LRF. LRF, he's going to be on this podcast shortly. And basically, Rob, we're just going to get to. If you guys don't know a little bit about Rob, he's been in the industry
Everyone
for a
knows
long
about
time.
Rob. Rob's big in the game. He coached Jace. He coached Marcus.
Yeah,
I remember who else. He coached Sheridan.
yeah.
A lot of our guests. He coached Matt.
Matt Lemay, yeah.
But there's probably some more that we've had on or will have on that he has coached. So
Tyler, he coached Tyler.
see, there we go. So I
Yeah,
mean, he's
yeah.
coached some of the biggest names in the UK
In
bodybuilding
the
scene.
UK industry, I think no, Rob is definitely one of the front runners of coaches in the UK. He's turned a lot of guys pro, including myself. So yeah, it's going to be someone that has a lot of value to offer to the channel. So we have to get him on, just to speak about his journey as a coach. You're going to try and get to know Rob behind the scenes as well, and everything there. So that'll be really interesting when it comes on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
apart from that,
Did you
I'm
see?
up to,
I posted my check-in on my story.
yeah, I did see that.
We're cooking, baby. We're cooking.
What's your weight now? Has it gone up again?
No, about 112.45. Yeah.
112 point. Yeah, you're still big, bro. It's a lot of bloody weight, man.
Yeah, it's just my lower back is fried.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how do
Fried.
you feel, man? Like just walking around in that weight.
When I did 110, I think I've done it like twice before. I'm like struggling to breathe, and you can't tie your shoes, and it's like really uncomfortable. This year, I feel comfortable. I can move. The only thing is my back just is like not locks up, but it just hurts when you
Yeah,
walk for too long. You're sitting uncomfortable, sitting in a not a normal position, or not supported. So
yeah,
it's nice to. Hilly said we're going to pull the trigger and get going soon. So
yeah.
blood work is on. Get my bloods done Tuesday.
Mm.
So hopefully by Friday, but maybe I won't tell him Friday. I'll tell him after Saturday because I get the cheat meal, and then I tell him, and then we go.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start when I come back from holiday. To be fair, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be ready to go. I'm anytime now, bro. As soon as Rob says let's go, I'm like, all right, let's go. Like,
We have to ask him some of these questions. What's his plan for you?
well, the thing is, like, we'll be interested to see what Rob says. I mean, our plans are basically the same. Like, we make plans together, isn't it? So it's one of them ones. I tell him what I want to do, and he kind of says whether that's a good amount of time or whether that's possible. So it's a good partnership in that sense. But I guess when it comes on, he can speak about that.
Yeah. No, I was actually very close to working with Rob.
Yeah.
Very close. There was a period I didn't have a coach, so I'm like doing your messages like who should I work with? Da, da, da. I was messaging Rob through I think the Instagram or maybe the website or something, but you couldn't quite get through to him as such at the point. I couldn't get through directly.
Was it like during the season? Was it like peak season?
Yeah, probably knowing me. It wasn't an off season. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's obviously traveling around the
Lines.
world.
Yeah.
So I put the application in, but I hadn't quite spoken to him yet. But then Hilly, I was talking to as well. He's like, jump on the phone.
Oh, so it was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was supposed to have a call with his. I think at the time Rob had a PA or something.
Okay. I'm not too sure.
Yes, I think he called. Then you speak to her, or a lady or something about the onboarding sort of thing. But yeah, that's the only reason. Otherwise, I'd be sitting there.
Yeah, I hear it, man. I mean, the thing is, when when you're a coach like Rob, and you have loads of clients, it's really hard to find the time to onboard new people. And if anything, you don't want to be taking new clients on when it's peak season.
So I think it's when you're that busy as well, you don't really have time for time wasters.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna sit down for half an hour, 45-minute call with someone who may not sign up. So because obviously didn't know, that's just their process in their onboarding process. So just go through the hoops, kind of sign up, and then maybe speak to him.
Yeah. I'm sure once you sign up, you would have jumped on cover with you.
Yeah. Because obviously I would have to work out some plans sort of thing. But in my head, I was a bit like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Like, I wasn't a pro. Am I good enough to be a pro? Like, what is the plan? Where do you think I can go? Sort of thing.
Yeah, I hear you. But topic on the beyond the stage Instagram, Ali Bilal was saying how he's going to be doing like multiple competitions leading up to the Olympia. What do you think of that?
He said basically he wants to kill anyone else's momentum leading into the show.
Pretty much.
But I don't think you can. Obviously, you can take their ticket away, but then if they're as good as they are to get momentum, they're going to get it, and they're just going to be second place in those big shows. And as soon as Ali stops, they're going to get their ticket, and they're going to meet in Olympia, sort of thing. So I do get it though, and I think Pittsburgh has increased the prize.
Yeah, 40K now, isn't it?
That's big money. Olympia's 50K.
Yeah, 10K that's an Olympia.
Brian Terry's only doing the Olympia, right? More than likely.
Yeah.
So if Ali does any show leading up to that, he's a front runner.
He's going to win. Yeah.
Like technically.
Like who is? I mean, obviously you have Jeremy Buendia doing Pittsburgh. You have Ebanks. You have Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon is
so
back.
Brandon, technically, he hasn't beat Brandon yet.
He hasn't. No.
So technically, Brandon's ahead of him.
I mean, technically he is because obviously he has more medals. Yeah,
one more than his.
Yeah,
and he's beat Ali.
Yeah.
On paper, Brandon is.
So should be the front runner. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Ebanks,
Brandon, Ali. I think Edvan.
Edvan is in it.
Was he your top 3, top 5 before?
It was 4, wasn't it? Top 4?
Yeah, he was closer before.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Vitor, I believe, might be doing it. I can't remember who else. But it's a mini Olympia without Ryan Terry.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so that's going to be an exciting watch.
Should I jump in there?
What's up,
guys? What's up, baby?
Sure, bro.
Bro.
Let's go. I'm not doing it if you're going to do it, bro. I'll do it if you do it.
If you know what I'm like, if I'm like ready, I'd probably go out there for the banner and just
sick. Let's let Rob in.
Oh, he's in.
Rob is here.
Let's do it.
What's up, bro? Can you hear us?
Mate, I can't see, mate.
Can you see him?
Oh, yeah. Yo. What's going on?
What's up,
how you
bro?
doing? You all right?
Yeah, how you doing, Rob? You good?
I'm good, man. You all right?
Yeah, man. How's things? How's your day been?
Good, man. I just got back from work, so yeah, busy but good.
Yeah, mine's always busy. You still got that full-time job on top of coaching and everything.
Yeah, man. I love it, bro. I love the job. I love my job, man.
Yeah. Man.
What is it you do?
Construction. I work in construction.
Yeah. The busiest guy I know, man. This guy just
Grind is real.
grinder.
Eh,
Day one.
Never stops, bro. Never stops, man. Never stops.
Yeah, but it's a pleasure to have you on, Rob. Obviously, we've been speaking of getting you on for a little bit, so it's great to have you on today.
Disappointed I wasn't the first guest, to be honest.
You got to put board shorts on. That's what we need.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to see you in those.
Disappointed I wasn't the first guest, but life
We
goes
move
on.
on. But yeah, so obviously.
Wait, hang on. Have you been watching though?
Oh, here we go.
You've only had 2 guests.
That means you ain't been watching.
Who's your guest been? Jace and Zach, yeah?
Nah, I mean coaches, right?
Coaching.
Yeah. Coaches, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
There's
like,
lots of,
yeah, I see you.
amateurs. Yeah. So not amateurs, pros. But now it's been good to always have you on. Guys, who Rob is. If you don't know Rob is, then I don't know where you've been living. Living under a rock for sure. But I'm gonna do a little intro for Rob. Rob is definitely one of the top G's when it comes to coaches out there. And well, probably the most pro cards ever collected in the UK as well. Definitely up there for sure. So Rob, what we do in this podcast, we just want to get to know you a little bit. I know we have a few questions we're going to ask you, get to know you, like the man behind the coach, the athletes, pro cards collector, and everything. So I think the first question to ask you is, how did you get into being a coach? Like, what got you started in the industry?
Man, I competed for 5 seasons, so and I competed when competing weren't cool. There weren't many people competing when I was competing. Like I was in my gym, I trained in a bodybuilding gym, and I was the only competitor in a bodybuilding gym. So
Wow.
it was a gym called Titanium down in East London, where I'm from. And there wasn't really anybody doing it. One of my friends did it, done it right, and I was like, man, I want to do it. So competed, and naively, I was a junior, but I didn't enter the juniors class because I didn't really know there was juniors. So I ended up doing classic at the time. I think I was 22, and that was back in 2011, 2012 season. So that was 13 years ago now, 13, 14 years ago. And then from there, like a couple of mates would be like, oh, I want to do a show. Like, I saw that you got into good shape, and I think there was like 13, 14 people in my class. I come third. So they were like, cool, yeah. I was like, cool, man, let me help you. And then lucky enough, they won. The first lad I ever prepped, he won. It would have been called under 90s, under 90 kilos. So that's like heavyweights. He won. Then another lad called Ben Johnson, who's a good friend of mine still today. He came second in the same show, and I was like, "Oh, doing all right," And then again, things just escalated from there. Really, I think the first person I had turn pro was 2019, 2018, 2019.
Okay. Was that Two Bros times or UKBFF?
No, Arnold's, bro. Back in the day, the Arnold's. So you remember when the Arnold? So again, people won't remember this and really new to the sport. So you had to get invite to the Arnold's, and there was selective shows for the UKBFF that would invite you to the Arnold's, and then you'd rock up to the Arnold's, and you'd have like 40 people in your class.
Yeah, is that the Spain one? With like
that's it. Yeah. The Spain
one. I think that was when I actually saw Rob for the first time, actually, because I did the Arnold's. I think it was 2017 or 2018, something like that.
Mad busy. You know what them shows were like. They were honestly, James, they were crazy, mate. Like, you would get you'd have to first of all place at the British to get an invite. So you'd have to be top 6 at the British, and then you get the top 6 then from Britain, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, all doing this one show to get their card. So again, like, honestly, you'd have 40 people in a class. And then Terrell Thomas was the guy's name who turned pro, Ty Thomas. So he then won the back then it was called Muscular Men's Physique.
I remember Ty.
Yeah. So he won the Muscular Men's Physique. He beat like 40 guys, and then then he got his card. So that was the first person that ever turned pro, and that was say back in the Arnold's when they're doing the Arnold's, because you would win the British and you wouldn't get a pro card. Like, you'd win the British, like Ricky Beckford. When I prepped Ricky Beckford, obviously, Ricky and James. Don't know if you know Ricky, but Ricky won the British like 4 times, man. And they wouldn't give him a card. He was master, and he placed top 3 at the Arnold. He went and won the World Championships and like everything. and they just wouldn't give him a card. And
So
so
that was, I'm guessing, when it was done by discretion. So you win, like PCA. Even if you win the overall, you might not get a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was it. Yeah, that was Ricky Beckford. Even the girls, mate. The girls were like just as bad. Like Babs, Barbara Kiss, won the British finals twice. As a figure competitor, and didn't get a card. And then when the two bros opened up, she got a card straight away.
Yeah.
And then
Back in
Ricky
the
had
days,
that.
it was super hard, man. Super hard to get a pro card. Not like nowadays. Well, I guess it is still hard in some ways, but like it was just a lot more prestigious. Like you see the guys that get the pro card, everyone's like, oh, it was a massive thing. You see? Yeah.
It reminds me of that's like back in the day, Romain Lansford, those sort of times when he was.
Yeah.
I remember watching his YouTube and looking up to him and be like, shit, he didn't even place in the Arnold and stuff like that.
Yeah. So people like Romain. Who else would have got the Ryan Terry? Obviously got the card back then. Romain Lansford.
There's a guy called Scotty.
The short one.
Yeah. You know him? Can't remember.
He was with Ed, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was with Ed as well.
Yeah.
Eddie was the man back then,
Yeah.
Eddie was. I know obviously he's gone off on a different path now, but but again, like people, I've been in the game so long, people don't realize that Eddie was actually Eddie helped Romain turn pro.
Yeah.
Eddie helped Romain turn pro. He used to coach Tom Coleman. When Tom Coleman was doing was it WBFF or something like that?
Yeah.
Man. Eddie was the man back then. He was very old school, obviously, like chicken and rice or fish and rice, pretty much.
Sweet potato and steak.
Yeah.
We were both coached by Eddie as well back in the days. Yeah.
I remember you go in for a check-in and then you see these guys, and on YouTube they're like, I coach myself, but they're in this room getting checked in. I was like, what the fuck are you doing it?
Yeah, man. It was Eddie was a super coach back then, man. He was good. He would. And he did a lot of figure girls as well. And I used to have a lot of like battles with. I used to have loads of figures. I never used to prep bikini girls, so I never ever. I actually one point stopped prepping bikini girls because the UKBFF was very different in what they wanted. Like 1 week they would pick somebody hard, the next week they would pick somebody soft, and in all honesty, I couldn't ever get it right. Back in the day, I couldn't ever get it, which is obviously completely different to now. But I couldn't ever get it right. So I said, you know what? Like all my bikini girls, I handed over to I don't know. I think I told them to go to Michelle Brennan or someone like that, or Helen from Panthers. I was like, go and see these people because they obviously get it right and I don't. So there's your money back. I don't want to coach you. And then I used to coach a lot of. Well, I'm still the same now, to be honest, bro. If I don't think I'm the best coach for somebody, then I won't coach them. Like, if I'm not the best coach for you, I'm not going to coach you. Because I'm going to charge just as much as somebody else. Why are you paying me when I think there's someone better for the job?
Yeah,
but that's like that winner's mentality for you and for them, because obviously you want to, your results to speak. So if you're not doing the job and they're not getting the result, you'd rather them just go elsewhere, and you've got more time for other people you can get the result for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The thing is, bro. Coaching is you're only as good as your last show. If I took somebody to the first shows are coming up, imagine I take someone to the first show and they get smoked. People are going to start saying, "God, Rob's lost it, man." Rob used to be a good coach, but did you see the last couple of athletes? God, and they'll forget that I've won 26 pro cards and 500 shows and 100 overall.
It's true.
Because all they'll think about is, God, the last show is, God, did you see Rob's client? God, there was only 5 people who came last.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's lost it. Maybe I'm not going to go see him. So if, like you say, like if I start turning up with people who are not tip top and who I know I can get a result with, like, in all honesty, what's the point for me and what's the point for them?
Yeah, no, that's honest. I mean, you can't get any more honest than that, can you?
With men's physique back in the day, you said like figure, the look was different, awarded differently. Do you think men's physique was consistent?
And reasonably, reasonably, to be fair. Like, yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty, I didn't, like, I know people always talk shit on the UKBFF, but I didn't think they were that bad. Like, you competed with them, James. You competed with them.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah, I don't like the way that the pro cards were awarded was shit. Of course it was. Yeah, you know what I mean? It should have been given out more than one pro card a year. Sometimes even less. Something they were giving out one pro card.
It's true.
But I don't remember seeing. Obviously, I know it's a long time ago, but I don't remember seeing a great deal of shockers, like where you'd be like, "Wow, how has that person won?" Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
That never happened.
Remain when he won the card, clear winner, great physique,
Yeah.
went on to do decent things as a pro.
Mm.
Um, who else would, like Ryan Terry, got earned his card for the UKBFF. Luke Sander, I know he's not with us anymore as well, but earned his card for the UKBFF.
John
Samson Dowder,
Baptiste. Yeah,
Samson earned his card for the UKBFF.
true.
Like there weren't that many people that you think, "Oh, what a shocker! How has he gone on and got a card?"
I
And I'm
think
not
it's
saying
like,
there is that now, but there is. I think people think that in their mind that, oh, it must have changed from the UKBFF because they were shit. No, they weren't shit. They were just shit at giving out pro cards.
yeah.
But I remember the shows back then, and the standard was fantastic, and the results were 9 times out of 10 pretty fair.
I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
with the
go
go
for
on,
it. All right. I mean, the UKBFF is what really got me like competing and actually enjoying competing because, as I was saying in previous episodes, that they used to pay for you to actually pay for accommodation and flights for you to travel to different places, man. I mean, you never get that nowadays, man. You know?
No.
it's a money making scheme now. Everything costs
Yeah.
fucking tons of money.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, go on.
Yeah.
No,
So
I agree with you 100%, man. It's obviously there's rules and regulations now that never existed before, which
yeah.
again I don't think they're all bad. Like James and Isaac, you both know me for a long time. Like I'm pretty mutual about most things. Like I can see the good and the bad in most things. Like
Yeah.
I can see the good things about people being allowed more pro cards, and it facilitates business and it facilitates them and it helps them grow their business and it helps them compete more. Like again, one of the real shit things about the UKBFF is I was a competitor. I never competed with PCA because if I would have competed with PCA, I would have been banned from UKBFF. I would have
That was
never
I
true.
ever
remember
been
that.
able to compete with anybody else.
Yeah.
And my coach at the time was Neil Cranwell, and Neil Cranwell was notorious for doing WABA, NAC, UKBFF, and then he tried the PCA, and UKBFF banned him. They said they never want to see you at a show again because he would try these different federations, which obviously again, like it's not like that now. But at the time, we had to accept that. I would have loved to have done a PCA show, man. I
Yeah.
genuinely would have loved to have done a PCA show. I would have loved to have done a Two Bro show. But
Yeah.
like I say at the time, like you could only compete with the UKBFF. That was all that you were allowed to do. And again, like now, it's great that you can go and travel. But like I said, everything's got a pro and a con to it. It's great that you can go and travel, and it's great that you can explore. But the amount of people spending thousands and thousands of pounds trying to chase a pro card is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, it's an expensive sport, but you have to be really like you're gonna have self-awareness. You got to know whether you're actually capable of getting a pro card. And I think that also comes down to the coach as well. Like the coach can't be selling dreams to the athlete, because
It's not just the coach; it's the outside world and people in the gym. Are like, oh yeah, you're sick.
Yeah, you're gonna
go across there, do this, and you're $5,000 deep after like 3 shows, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even place.
Yeah. It's people not realizing that. That's what it is, though, mate. It's people like genuinely. I think I've had this conversation with Isaac before. I genuinely think there's probably a dozen people in this country that could actually look at someone's physique as a men's physique athlete and say you're probably good enough to turn pro. Outside of that dozen people, like in all honesty, it's people being gassed up online, people not being aware how good the standard is. And then people just saying, yeah, go and do it. And then their coach has got an ego drive that, okay, we've made another top 5. Who gives a fuck that you made top 5? I've spent £1,000 trying to get top 5. Like, I'm not going to be recouping any of that cost. And genuinely, out of that dozen people, I very rarely see them have clients chase cards. I see them have a couple of shows where they might go bang, 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 like 3 shows in a row. And then if they don't get it, they say, yeah, you know what, pull back a little bit. Pull back, save that money. Let's spend it elsewhere. Might be spending it on drugs. Might be spending it on, I don't know, treatment. Might be spending it on relaxing. Whatever you might be spending it on, but at least take some time away and then go again. But I coach a massive female demographic now, and I see it so much. I see it more within females. I see it more within bikini athletes. Bikini athletes doing 4 or 5 shows, spending genuinely like 6-7 grand, and they've never won their class.
Yeah.
How can you chase a pro card if you've never won your class?
Yeah.
People are chasing now before they've even fucking gone on stage.
Yeah.
What the fuck? People are in like 3-year off seasons, and I'm going to go pro. And I'm like, mate, you haven't won a class, you haven't done a show, you haven't done any category, you haven't done anything. You just get on stage, enjoy the process, and see where it takes you. Because people don't realize
you can do the process to start with. See if you can do the process to start with. You know, there's a lot of gassing up that goes on, and like I'm not massive on social medias, but when I go onto social media, I see it. You know, I see someone put up an update, pro card pending, like that sort of shit, and I just scroll past it. Obviously, I'm not the dickhead that
All right,
says you're having a
mate.
laugh, and yeah, but
Yeah,
but I just think of it and I think you've got no idea. Like, you've got no idea. Like, you know, you've got absolutely no idea how much this is, how much, how far away you are. And again, I mean that with the greatest of respect to people that are putting that on people's posts.
yeah,
But it, like, unless you've got a real idea of this is what is actually needed to turn pro,
mm,
rather than say that, just tell people, man, you look great. You've done a
yeah,
great job. You know, because it brings this false sense of security into people that they're going to go and do it, and then they might produce the fantastic best look they've ever had. They
mm,
come third and they feel disappointed. What are you
Yeah.
disappointed for? You did the best that you could. Well, I'm disappointed because I let my people, my followers down, my
yeah,
fans. You ain't got no
yeah,
fans. You're not Beyonce. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you just a couple of people fought it. And the thing is, mate, I say that with with first-hand experience, yeah. So when I was prepping Shah, so obviously Shah, my missus. So when I was prepping Shah, you know, she would update all the time, and I just said you need to be careful. Like this is me talking to her like on a personal level, not at a coaching level. I said you need to be careful because you're going to get up there and you might not win. Yeah, you might not win. And she didn't win that show. She probably came like fourth in that overall. Um, and she's like, I feel like I need to message people now that sorry. Like I said, why do you need to
oh
message people
no,
sorry?
what?
But people do feel that, yeah. Like they do
Yeah,
feel that, like, you know,
Definitely.
like they feel like, oh man, I got like this person was supporting me. They weren't supporting you. They just send you a message and say good luck. You know, I mean, they're more just fucking want something to talk about if you win or don't win. You know, so it's like it felt like that pressure would just get worse and worse and worse for her. So now, for example, when she done her pro debut last year, she kept it so quiet.
mm,
And she rocked up at a show, done her pro debut, came second, and put online, okay, I've come second. And then people are like, oh, I don't even know you're competing. Well, there's a
yeah.
reason that you don't know she's competing because she's trying to keep it down to herself, down to a few people, and then just have no pressure whatsoever.
That's come
Yeah,
up so many times on the podcast.
so many times because I feel like
Even myself. Yeah,
we
turning
build
pro.
up this like pressure, like that's we're posting updates, think that we need to keep people updates. And I used to do the exact same thing as well. Like I used to always like post, oh, I want people to be part of my journey, but then like it actually has a toll on you because when you don't do so well or as well as you thought you would do, you end up just like having that void where really you placed well in the grand scheme of things, but you can't take it in because you didn't win the competition. So like you end up not enjoying the process as much anymore.
Mm.
Whereas now my brain has completely changed. Like when we start prep, when we actually go into the prep, I'm just gonna prep because what am I doing this for? I'm doing it for myself at the
Mm.
end of the day. So you need to have that. I think the less you update is actually gonna kind of just manage your energy, manage your mentality as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing for going forward. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that's a great thing to do, man. I think just
yeah,
go in there, rocking up, bringing your best. Of course, people are gonna see you getting leaner. Of course, you're gonna when you look good, you feel like, oh, I'm gonna put a little post up. Like,
yeah.
cool, you know what I mean? Like,
What's up?
we're all human, you know what I mean? Of course, we're doing that. Like,
Yeah,
you know, but yeah, I think keeping like the show date under wraps is I think is a great thing to do, man. It's a great
yeah,
thing to do. Just rock up, you bring your best. There's no pressure. And again, like I say again, me and Shah, obviously, we've been together 4 years. You know, we talk a lot, and I say to her like, these people, they ain't your mates. Like, with all
mm,
due respect, they ain't your mates. Like, they
no,
ain't like, you know, they're gassing you up. Yeah, it's love, like fantastic to get comments. It really is because it can build that ego up a little bit sometimes when you're having shit days and stuff like
mm,
that. But they're not your friends. You don't talk to them every day. I don't talk to like even you, Isaac. We speak, but like you're not my best mate. I'm not going to message you all the time. Like we
yeah,
check in, we'll say how you doing, how's things, how's business, da 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 da. But
mm,
not the person I speak to every day.
mm,
Like you know, and me and you will be closer than most people will be with their followers.
true,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
so yeah, like these people, they're not your mates. I'm sure they have the best intentions in the world, but who are you letting down? Who's putting pressure on you? Like, come on, man.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
chill, do your thing, and then just crack on and bring something special. And then people will be like, oh shit, wow, that person looks sick, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. I think that's great advice, even for people watching this, guys. There's no need to just put that pressure on yourself unnecessarily. Like, just do you. Just remember why you actually do, like, why you're competing. It's for yourself. Don't need to broadcast everything to everyone. Like,
Mm.
what was it? There was a post that I saw on Instagram recently where that Brandon You know the classic guy, Brandon something.
Hard body.
Hard body, yeah. Like he cheated on his diet, right? Once and he put it on Instagram and he said, fuck, he cheated on my diet. Like, why are you gonna just broadcast that for no reason? Like, you know what I'm saying? People just put up random
attention seeking, mate, as well. You know, I mean, that's the thing as well. Half the time, like, is seeking attention and seeking that. You know, I mean, seeking them people to message you and say, "Oh, don't worry." Like, yeah, a lot of the time, and again, a lot of the stuff. We've all done it. You know, what I mean, we've all been there. We've all done it. We've all put up the post to get a little bit of attention. You know, when you're looking big or when you're looking lean. Like I said, on the days that you're feeling a little bit shit, you know, you can do that. But again, maybe you just don't tell people the full story. You just put up an update, physique update. You know what I mean? And you don't put 7 weeks out or 30 weeks into off season, whatever it might be. But yeah, okay, we all do it. You know what I mean? But maybe just most people could get away with just reining it in a little bit.
Yeah.
What I find when you compete, right, and you win, everyone's your best mate, and they're sharing and tagging and posting and reposting all your stuff. When you lose, there's not that same attention.
Crickets, bro.
People don't.
Fucking, I was trying to tap you up, James, when you weren't winning, mate.
But mate, before you got on, I was saying I was this close to joining you. I just couldn't get the conversation with you. Literally before you got on, that's what I was saying. But yeah, like when I win, it's like all these reposts. But when you actually lose, like no one's there. But when you actually feel your lowest, obviously when you lose, you feel like you let yourself down. That's when you need that real support.
Yeah.
The outside don't actually.
You don't get it.
They don't think about that. Yeah, they just want to celebrate the wins, but they don't see everything else that comes with it.
Mate, you go backstage at shows, and you've all done it. Like, again, we've all done it as well. What's the first thing that people do when they go backstage? So get their fucking picture out like this to put on Instagram. You know what I mean? You go backstage, you see so many people doing it.
War paint on.
Like, see, no, but even when they got their medal, that's the first thing that so many people do. Like the first thing they got their medal, to take the selfie again. Like honestly, like I understand, I get it. Like I really do get it because it's a massive sense of achievement and it's a massive sense of accomplishment. But like take that. Like again, it's like what happens next time when you don't get first because you ain't gonna win every show.
What's up, guys? Hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Make sure you subscribe.
And while you're here, if you're interested in online coaching, whether you want to compete or simply get in the best shape of your life, hit us up on Instagram.
And if you want posing sessions or anything to do with your presentation, drop us a message on Motion Performance and we get back to you. Boom!
What you're going to do, because you got third now or a fifth or a did not place, like there's not that selfie where I've not got a medal now because I didn't place. But every other time I got the win, like I've put pressure on myself to do that. Like, and especially when you go up the levels. So again, you boys both of you know when you go up the levels, the likelihood of you winning is low. Last show both of you won is your pro card, yeah.
Yeah.
How many years ago? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Straight
up, maybe never again. Very realistic.
Yeah. That's it.
Can't speak for yourself, James. But
yeah, boy.
When you lose or you come third or whatever, and when I finish the show as an amateur, I kind of go on with my medal. But look, I done this X, Y, and Z. But it was more so people would stop fucking messaging me. How did you do? How did you get on? You kind of just want to be like, I've done this. Like, I don't have to go to a message now because you can all see it on my story.
Mate, you know what, man? Like again, like I really sit in the middle on a lot of things. Like if that's what motivates you, and you listen to this, and you listen to me saying, just post less, but posting motivates you to drive on. Fucking do it more.
Yeah,
like genuinely do it more. I just through prepping, like genuinely thousands of people, like over the years, like I've just found doing things like that just like makes the whole experience like not enjoyable, and it takes away from a lot of the things that we're doing this for. Like bodybuilding is for me, like I won in 5 years, I won 2 shows, but what it brought me is more than just a fucking trophy that's on my side. Like I did it because it made me understand that 1% really matter. I did it because it allowed me to be a better person. It allowed me to get structure in my life. It allowed me to get routine in my life. That's why I did bodybuilding. Yeah, it was great that I got big at the same time because I like being big. But you know, more than that. Like when I look back now, I'm 36 years old. Like when I look back and think, oh, you know what? At 23 years old or 22 years old, when I was competing, I was like going out with my mates and saying, you know what? Like I don't really need a beer, but I will have a drink. I will drive, and I won't have a drink. And that taught me self-discipline. So then when I wanted to go, for example, into the workplace and everyone went out and got absolutely smashed, and I'm there saying like, no, I'm cool, man. I actually don't need a beer. Like, I'm all right, man. I can be myself without one. Like, bodybuilding taught me that discipline, that I can move things forward in other aspects of my life.
Yeah.
And that's what really bodybuilding was about for me, is being an overall better person, and allowing me to understand like little things, like 1% makes a difference. Like putting a half a kilo on the bar every week. People think it's insignificant. If I put half a kilo on the bar every week, do that for 10 weeks, I've gained 5 kilos in my lift.
Yeah.
Taught me that them little things make a difference. Taught me that when I do add 10 grams more nut butter, I'm probably not going to lose weight that day. Like little things like that taught me that those little things make a difference. And unless you live that, you can tell people that all day, but they'll think, yeah, all right, mate, like it really doesn't make a difference. Like again, like having 2 beers doesn't make a difference. Well, you'll wake up fine, you'll be fine the next day, but maybe your thought process is a little bit slower.
100%.
Because those the little things that you didn't think make a difference actually make a fucking massive difference.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's bullseye, man. Nailed it there, man. 100%. Okay, one question for you. So, in terms of men's physique, what have you seen change in the past? Obviously, you've been in the game for a long time. For like from the early stages of men's physique right now to where it is right now, what have you seen in the changes of it?
Tissue, more tissue. There's a lot more tissue now. Like I said before, there was, men's physique used to be men's physique, and then you had an extra class called muscular men's physique.
Yeah.
And the muscular men's physique, and now is what men's physique is. Like, bigger guys, better top lines, bigger arms, bigger shoulders, bigger all over, really. Just bigger all over. So yeah, like those guys that were maybe a little bit smaller before could get away with it. Now you probably won't get away with it.
Yeah.
The condition as well. Condition, to be fair, has always been razor sharp. Like again, like we mentioned Romain earlier on. Romain was always peeled, man. Like always absolutely peeled. And again, he could probably get away with it now because he's got that razor sharp condition, and he did have a lot of tissue. But yeah, like condition has been pushed now to the extreme, like the real extreme, which is good because condition shows sacrifice, condition shows hard work. Condition, it shows everything really. So yeah, condition gets pushed to the extreme. So whenever now when I prep a men's physique athlete, I prep them like a bodybuilder. Like I want you to be as big, as hard, as lean as possible. Okay, we need to adjust your training plan slightly to work on areas that are highlighted, top line, taper, etc., etc. But when I'm like dialing you in, I want you dialed in like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, that's true, man. You said the shit I had to do last year, bro. God damn.
I saw the YouTube video and it was like, was you eating like 2 rice cakes all day? Into the gym shot. I was like, yeah.
2 rice cakes, 10 grams of honey. I'll never forget that, bro. I had that times 6. I was like, bro, what is this?
But for perspective, that was at like the 6-7 o'clock show as well. So all day it was like 10 rice cakes.
Yeah, that was not fun, but we got it done, man, and we got a good placing off the back of that. So
top 4,
yeah, top 4, top 4. A place just behind Tyler. Well, yeah, man. Well, we'll see. We'll see what this year brings.
And Spain as well. Spain was a late show as well, wasn't it?
Spain
was,
Spain was pretty late. Yeah, it was about
Spain was a late one as well. Like, not as late, but like 4 or 5 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, Spain was around that time as well. Spain was good, man. That was probably my best showing yet. Yeah.
What do you prefer, Rob or Isaac? Actually, both of you, like in terms of a morning show or afternoon, evening, or whatever. What do you think is most ideal?
Honestly, depends on the person, man. Like someone like Isaac, for example. Isaac's never flat. So if you get someone who does wake up flat, then yeah, great. I've got a few hours to fill them out, no problem. We've got evening show, even better. I've got a few more hours to fill you out. But if, for example, it's someone like Isaac who doesn't go flat, and we know that one of our strengths is that we're nice and full, but also one of our weaknesses is that sometimes the midsection can go a bit blurry. So we probably don't need, like for someone like Isaac, early show would be great. Show would be great because he's harder, leaner, drier. But some people, that when they eat more, they get harder, leaner, drier. So it will honestly depend on the person. Like as a coach, like I'd love to fucking rock up at 11 o'clock and go at 12. You know what I mean? But it's not happening that often. But some of the shows are 7, 8 o'clock, and I'm there at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning, all the way through to the end of the day. But yeah, honestly, in terms of the look, like it really depends. But someone like Isaac, for example, who's never really flat, like a morning show, perfect, no problem, we get that done. But again, so there are other athletes who you think you always wake up a little bit flat, and when you do eat, you get better and better and better. And sometimes the evening show is better for them.
Yeah.
Because I always posted he's flat. You're never flat, mate.
Well, my flat is like most people fullness still, so
Mm.
so it's a bit different. And I get quite round as well when I have a lot of carbs. I get a good pump. Whoosh, I get really round. But as Rob says, I'm merely every flat in the morning, so I do see my midsection is a lot tighter in the morning. First thing, I wake up as razor, and then as I eat more food, it just starts to blur.
Mm.
So that's I think obviously the British when we did the two rice cakes was perfect because obviously it
Mm.
gave me enough time throughout the day to actually have some food, but not enough food that will make me spill over or make my midsection blur. So it's just one of them ones, I guess, when you work with a coach for as long as Rob and I have worked together for like, you do tend to just know how the physique works.
Mm.
So yeah, so going into this year is going to be the same thing, but even more aggressive because we got to get that condition on point, Rob.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, people don't realize that what was you like 7 kilos under the cap last year, 7, 8
7
kilos, maybe
kilos,
even a
7,
bit
8
more.
kilos.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
but like 7, 8 kilos under the cap last year. So when you get that, like I said to you, one of the biggest changes is tissue. You know,
yeah,
and the fact that you can now carry 7 kilos more tissue is ridiculous. You know, what I mean, it bring a crazy look. You know, you bring that razor sharp condition, maybe a couple of percent even better
yeah,
because you've got more tissue. When you've got more tissue, it's going to look like even if you come in the same condition, but you've got more tissue, you're going to look leaner because you're going to be bigger. You're going to have more pop. You're going to have more roundness.
yeah.
So yeah, if you bring that this year, wouldn't even if you did half of it, even if you put 4 kilos on,
Mm.
then
It's a lot of
it's going to
muscle.
be. Yes, it is a lot of muscle, and then again, you're not 6 foot. If you're 6 foot and you add 4 kilos, you can tell, but it's not really that much. When
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not and you add 4 kilos, you're like, oh
yeah.
yes, it's a lot. Yeah.
It's a long muscle. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
should see, yeah, it's gonna be a good look, ain't it, Rob?
Could be mad. Could
Yeah,
be mad.
man. James just don't even bother coming to my shows, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't coming. Don't worry. I'll wait.
No, I'm jokes. But yeah, so what would you say is one of the main, obviously being a coach for so long, what would you say during your journey, throughout your journey has been like one of the most rewarding parts of your job as a coach?
As a coach, like just getting to see people like fulfill their potential, and that's so cliche, isn't it? Like, and I'm sure everyone says that. Like, I'm sure everyone says that. Like, I just want people to fulfill their potential. But for me, I don't do it for money. Like, I genuinely do not do it for money. Like, my house is mortgage free. Like, I get like the day job that I have. It's 100 grand a year day job. I don't coach for the money. I have gyms. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
both, James. I don't know if you've been to the gym, but I've just been to the gyms.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
massive,
I've
bro.
been.
It's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah,
The gyms, there's 1,500 members in them. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I could park that all aside, never coach again, and be absolutely fine financially. But I coach because I genuinely enjoy seeing people go on and do well. Like, and I'm sure it's like Samson might be saying this, but I never charged him for prep. Never charged him a penny for prep because I constantly felt that he weren't reaching his limits. And when okay, he still didn't get the card like last year. Thought he should have done better in a couple of shows personally. But when I saw him come out of the PCA, the first show we did at the Universe, I was like, wow, that like, man, what a great feeling because I've helped him bring his best by far.
Was
yeah,
that with him and Ike battling out?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was a tough one.
That
That was
was
a
a
tough.
tough one to
Yeah,
be
that was a
fair.
tough one because they
Yeah,
were both razor sharp. It was apples
Mm.
and oranges. It was they got a different look to each other.
Absolutely, man. And I got pissed at the time, bro. Like, I shouted at the judges and all sorts, man. Like, I genuinely got pissed. Like,
I think that's the first and only time I've seen you post or say something online about like the result.
yeah, I was
I think
pissed,
that's the
man. Like,
only
I
time
was,
I've
yeah.
seen. Yeah.
No, I don't because you got to remember I judged as well. Yeah, I've judged, so I know how long judging is, man, and I know
yeah,
what those guys have a hard job. They really do,
yeah,
and I try and give them all the leeway that I can. Like, but when on that day, I just thought, "Come on, man, how has he not won that?" And I got genuinely pissed, and I was like, "Fuck's sake, man!" And again, like, it was somebody who, with all due respect to him, he's never looked that good before. And when he
yeah,
did look that good, I was like, man, he looks sick. Like, he looks so good.
yeah. You
And
get
and then
gas,
and
like,
yeah, and then I was just like I should never have done it. Like, in hindsight, I should never have done it. Like, I should never have posted, shit result because, like, when someone done that for my client, like, I get annoyed
you
at
were
that. You know
happy,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
I get annoyed at that. Like, so, like, I did actually go and speak to Ike as well. Like, when I saw him next time, and I said sorry. I said sorry, man. Sorry that I posted that. Like, I hope we're cool. And he's like, yeah, we're cool, man. Like, he gets it as well. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, Ike's from Essex, where I'm from. You know what I mean? So, I see him every now and then and say to him, yeah, you're cool. And he's like, yeah. So I went and apologized to him.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, no, you're right. It's the first and only time that I'd ever do that. Like, I'll never do that again now. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was pissed, man. But yeah, that's just genuinely the reason, like, why I'm still in the game now. Why I'm
Yeah.
still in the game now, because I genuinely do find it really fulfilling. I find it really fulfilling, and I find it enjoyable. And as I said, like, it's a great feeling when someone comes out on stage and you see them and you're like, yeah, man, like everything has come together here. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree because that was Samson's best look I've ever seen, and I think if he brings that to a two bro stage, that look, he turns pro, and I think he does very well in the pro league straight away because he has the size already.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You know, he reminds me of Big Yemi. You know, Big Yemi, because Big
Yeah.
Yemi, not physique wise, but Big Yemi chases card for ages. Yeah, chases card, chases card, chases card. Gets his card 2 weeks later, got invited to Olympia.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Samson's physique reminds me of. Yeah,
Yeah.
he chased the card, chased the card. I don't coach him anymore. I think he's doing his own off season. But yeah, he chases card, chases card, chases card, like Yemi, and Yemi comes so close so many times, and another like he got it 2 weeks later. He went back to Spain. He went to Olympia. Like, and I think when Samson does with whoever he gets it with, you know what I mean, whether it's me or another coach or whatever happens in the future, whatever happens, I just wish the best for him. I know that when he does get it, because he will eventually get it, he'll be somebody who 2 weeks later does another show and go to Olympia.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got a crazy physique, man. He just needs gets that nod. Once he gets that nod, and he's off, isn't he? He's a cool guy as well. Strong as fuck as well, man.
Absolute monster. Yeah.
Bro, and the guy don't even stop. Like, he's 3 weeks out and he's doing one rep max deadlift. I have to message him and say, mate, come on. Come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? You've got 300 kilos on the bar and you've got fucking 3% body fat. Come on, man. Let's think about what we're doing here. And
Light
just
one
be
for
like,
him,
sorry.
And then he does it again. Because I see him post show. It's like a day or two and he's under like 300 deadlift, 180 bench. And it just moves so fast as well. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had Marcus on this week as well, and he was telling us about like stuff that he suffered on prep, like in terms of, I think, confidence. Have you probably dealt with that with a lot of competitors, where a lot of them just either don't have the confidence in themselves or just doubt themselves quite a lot. How do you go about like helping people like overcome that, or do you do like how do you go about that?
It's hard, man. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. It's really just trying to show them how good they are. Like, trying to show people. Like, I coached Marcus back in the day, and again, Marcus from my area. I coached Marcus back in the day, and he was the same back in the day. He'd rock up and do, like, again, he was muscular men's physique back in the day. So he'd rock up and do these shows, and I look at him and think, man, you look sick. Like, you look absolutely sick. But you know, like the thing is with Marcus, and again, like me and Marcus cool. Like, me and Marcus good. Like, and the only thing with Marcus doesn't work on his posing. Like, if you're not working on your posing, then of course you're going to lack a little bit of confidence. And this is not just Marcus; it goes for anybody who doesn't work on their posing. Yeah, like if there is an aspect missing, then of course you're not going to be 100% confident. And that aspect might be condition, it might be muscle, it might be posing. If there's an aspect missing, you're still going to think, "Oh, I'm not quite there yet." But if you tick every single box every single day, like, what is there not to be confident about? Like, but if you're missing boxes every now and then, you are going to look back and think, yeah, I probably shouldn't have had that extra chocolate bar, or I probably shouldn't have missed that posing session. And what's that going to do? That's going to knock your confidence. But if you tick every single box and you say, well, you know what, I did do that posing session and I did follow my diet, and confidence is built up through doing things that you say you're going to do. Like, if I say, for example, oh, I'm going to open LRF 3 and I don't do it, I'm still going to look back and think, oh, I said that and I didn't quite do it. But if I constantly say things and I do them, that's how I'm going to build up my confidence. So just trying to reiterate that to people. Like, again, you both know me, and like people in the industry will know me. I'm a very straight talker. If I think you're ready, then I'll tell you, man, you're going to smash this. I'm not going to tell you you're going to win, but because I can't guarantee you're going to win. But I'm going to tell you you're going to smash this. And again, Isaac, we've done many preps together. You know that I don't throw out compliments lightly. So when and again, this is an element of building up someone's confidence, in my opinion. Is when you're constantly being pampered, you look amazing, you look so good, it becomes a bit false. Yeah, but when you start getting 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, and then compliments start to be dropped, you're like, oh shit, yeah, Like I must feel good. I must look good. Like Rob's telling me I'm on point. Like cool, no worries. I'm ticking all the boxes. My coach is telling me I look good. I'm feeling good in myself. Okay, you know, get the odd prep day where you feel shit, but you know, I'm feeling good in myself. I'm ticking all the boxes. What is there not to be confident about?
And you know what?
But
That's good because like if you're doing that, obviously 3, 4 weeks out, that's the time then people need that bit of a push, like mentally as well, because that's the hardest stages of prep, that 3, 4 weeks out where you're getting more tired, you know, you've been on prep for like 12 weeks already. So hearing that, like, oh, you're looking good, man. It's a little bit of like, okay, let's go. Let's go keep going, let's keep working. And I guess if you've been telling people, oh, you look good, like 10 weeks into 2 weeks into the prep, it's like, you know,
yeah.
it just doesn't
It
have
becomes lip
to hit.
service. It
Yeah,
becomes lip service, yeah. It becomes
yeah,
lip
yeah,
service. It becomes, yeah, cool. So yeah, you said that 50 times already, mate. Yeah, thanks.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
or rather than it be like, oh shit, yeah, you think, yeah, I do think, but caveat to that, we're not quite
Keep
there yet.
pushing.
We do
Yeah,
need to still going. Yeah,
yeah,
cool, no worries. Well, I feel like I look good. Right, I'm gonna get up, go do cardio now. I feel like I'm on point. Let me go do that.
yeah, yeah.
2 hours later, you feel like you look like shit again because you're on prep. But, you know,
Well,
at
it's
least you
true.
build your confidence for a little bit.
Yeah, it's true. Because sometimes, you know, Rob, I'll send a check into Rob, and Rob is like, yeah, very, very sharp. It's like, oh, yeah, swear down. But I say no more. I'm putting that treadmill. Like, I'm going crazy, bro, because I'm trying to get very, very good all the time, bro. So, yeah, I totally get it, bro. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. But,
Rob, what are your thoughts on, you know, when athletes say like look for judges that like your look?
Hundred
And they're
percent,
like,
100%, man. Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, 100%. Like, it like the criteria is still like the criteria is black and white. Yeah, you go online, you can read your criteria in black and white, but within that black and white, there's also a lot of discrepancies. Like, you know, the best way someone ever described, I can't even remember who ever described it to me, but it was a fantastic way of describing things. If two twins walked out on stage, there would be something, and they looked exactly the same. There would be something that tells you, as a human being, I like that person more than that person. They're twins. They're identical. They have the same look. They have the same percentage of body fat. They have the same amount of muscle. But you still have to pick a winner. Yeah, that means I favor one person's look more than the other because I've got to pick a winner. Yeah, so that will happen at every level,
yeah.
amateur level, pro level. It will happen at every single level. When again, like I've like Shah when she turned pro, she was in front of Maz 3 times, and Maz said to her, "Do this, this, and this." She done it. He said, "Cool, you did look better, but now you need to do that, that, and that." Go back again. Cool, not quite got it. On the last time, it's like I remember him even saying to her, "Weren't quite 100%, but you were the best in that lineup, so you got your card." Yeah. So again, there's little things that he would like about her physique. Same as your physique. Both of you actually, both of your strengths are your back. Yeah, you look at your back, that's your strength. You will get a judge that favors the back shot more than the front shot. And you'll also get judges that favor the front shot more than the back shot. So if that's your strength, then make sure
What's
that
your
you see
judge?
that person.
Favors the back poses. It's true. It's true, right?
Yeah. Make and again, like I said, the best way it was ever described to me is that two twins come out, they look identical. If something within you, like even though the criteria is black and white, forces you to pick a winner, and that's bias. Okay, well, I've got a bias to someone who's got like slightly bigger shoulders, but this person's got slightly smaller chest. Okay, but that's my preference. I go for that. So yeah, 100%. Like if there's a judge that likes you, sees you coming back, and the biggest thing, you listen actually to their feedback, and they actually implement it, then of course, eventually they're going to reward you. Eventually, they're going to reward you.
I've never actually looked at who judges the show, but I did my first one, Italy. 6 days later, I did the UK, and the obviously the panel was different. The lineup was almost identical, and the result was the opposite.
But that's exactly why you get that, James. That's exactly why you get that, because the panel firstly, the panel is always led by the head judge. Yeah. So the panel is always, again, I know because I've sat on the panel. Yeah. So the panel is always led by the head judge. And at pro shows, generally speaking, the head judge will pick the first call out. So at pro shows, what will happen, you'll get a big lineup, and the head judge will say, I want to see number 7, 8, 9, 15, 30, whatever. And then the other judges then start to judge.
To judge that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so then they judge that. So the head judge really, again, if he likes your physique, great. I'm in the first call out all the time. I'm then being judged and moved around. But exactly like you say, that you'll go, and this is why results are up and down at times, and this is why amateurs can't sometimes get their head around it, pros as well can't get their head around it, is because if the head judge will change, and when the head judge will change, he will have a preference. He'll then call that first call out, and you think, fuck me, I was in the first call out last week. I'm in the second call out now. Yeah,
Mm.
and that's generally how it works. But again, this is why PCA actually, I think, is, I wouldn't say fairer to judge, or fairer as an athlete, but you've always got the same head judge. Yeah, so at PCA you've always got the same head judge. Therefore, it's a little bit easier probably to coach for, because I know what that judge wants all the time. So this judge likes this, and this. This is what we're going to go for. Okay, and then with the two bros and NPC, there will be some slight discrepancies in that. Well, this judge actually for men's physique favors the front pose. You're stronger from the back. Maybe we don't do that show. Maybe we skip that show and we do the next one.
Yeah.
I've always thought about it, but I don't know. I think deep down it's like an ego thing where I've always thought I kind of just want to be the best and just turn up and bring my best and just be rewarded for doing it. But when you think about it logically, and the same Jace was on a few weeks ago, and he said about there's not a lot of time in the sport, so it's about picking the shows wisely. That sort of ties into that as well. It's a good point, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Jason, my first ever student as an apprentice. Yeah, me and him were best mates forever. All of that sort of shit. Like I was saying to him back in the day, pick the shows wisely. Make sure you know who the head judge is. Ask on Instagram. Like if I'm doing a show in Portugal, I want to know who that head judge is. I want to know who that head judge is and what did they like the last time. I can see what they liked the last time because I can say, oh well, for example, I don't know. Jack Sullivan is head judge here. Cool. What did he go for? Okay, Maz is head judge. Okay, what did he go for? Who else? The guy was coming over from the other guy that was coming over from America with like a Polish name. What does he go for? Okay, well we can tailor that look for that. Okay, we can tailor that look for that. So yeah, absolutely, man. Like I think doing that is a really, really good thing to do. And again, if you're an amateur doing that, save you thousands of pounds going and chasing, and then the head judge. Because again, this is why amateurs sometimes get very different feedback. And you see them post it online, yeah. See them post it online. This judge said to me I need to be fuller, and then that judge said I need to be bigger. I can't believe it. I'm all mixed up. Well, no, you're not mixed up. You're just getting poor advice on where to go for your shows.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it comes down to like part and parcel of coaching as well to understand that, like. If I'm going to advise you to do a show and I know this judge placed you last time, how stupid would it be for me to say, go and do that show? But if I know that the judge the week after is probably going to prefer your look, wait a week, do the show where you've got a different judge in it.
So Isaac, we have some research to do. We can share it.
Hey, bro, nah. This is in my pocket, bro. Yeah, I know I know the judge that likes me, bro. I've made my research.
Yeah, I need to do mine. Obviously, I've only stepped on the pro stage twice, so I need to see who actually. But we got
That's
one.
what I was saying to you earlier, bro. Like, because as soon as we turned pro, we did a string of shows. And one of the main reasons I wanted to do that is I wanted to see where I was in that pro league, but also I wanted to get in front of the judges. I want to see which judge actually liked my physique. I actually know, like, I speak to the judges as well. So I go backstage, hey, bro, they try to build some kind of rapport with them. Because I feel like it's really important to build a rapport with the guys that are going to be judging you, because you need to know what they like in your physique, how you can improve. And then when they see you next time, look, oh, Isaac has improved, James has improved, I like this. Then you get more of a look in my opinion.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. I was backstage for a while and I was like in a queue of all the guys, and obviously the judges don't know who I am. So like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, you did this. What's up? Oh, what is that? He's like, oh, who are you? Number 34. Oh, let me go.
A new guy in the block.
Oh, let me never fucking clue.
Yeah.
So I stayed behind to have a chat. So I need to make sure.
You have to, bro.
Hilly makes me stay up. Remember that when you lost the show and you're kind of pissed?
Yeah.
I want to fucking just go, dive into a box of cookies. But Hilly makes me wait and make sure I get it. So yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. And even the judge James that gave you a card, he ain't gonna remember 100%. But if you go up to him and say, "Oh yeah, you helped me, you gave me the card a few years ago," they'll be like, "Oh shit, yeah, I did, yeah, I remember that." Like, you trigger their memory, they'll remember it a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you got again. These are all little things that, like, again, like quote unquote inexperienced coaches won't know. And when inexperienced coaches don't know them, they'll say, yeah, go and do this show, go and do that show. I can see that a week after you're qualified, there's a show in fucking Mongolia. Why don't you go and do that? Because it's the nearest pro qualifier, without even thinking of things like judges, who are the judging panel. When Shah, for example, last year, she went and done the shows in Asia, and because when I look at it, I say, well, actually, all the girls in Asia are actually quite big girls, like big delts, big shoulders. When you look at the girls over in America, they're sometimes a little bit thinner.
Tiny,
You know,
yeah.
yeah. So what I said to her, go and do them shows. Go and do them shows because again, as a pro as well, again, you guys will get this as well. When you become an Olympian, you're looked at completely differently. Yeah. Oh, we got 7 Olympians in the lineup, and we got 4 others. Who do you think they're going to look at? They're going to look at the 7 Olympians.
Right.
You know, so but if you haven't got that title, then these are when the little percentages actually make up. Oh well, I judged you last year, you did really well. Remember, I gave you that feedback. You know, and yeah, these little percentages again will go a long way.
What have you noticed then in terms of men's physique? We talk about it quite a lot. But I want your take on men's physique judging in Europe to the States and Asia, actually, seeing as you know it.
Amateur wise.
I was thinking pro wise, but either or really, if it's different.
Yeah, so pro wise, really, it's hard for me to say like absolutely categorically because none of the men's physique pros that I have ever competed out in the States.
Until this year,
yeah, right at this moment in time.
Yeah,
like when I was prepping Tyler was doing the shows over in Europe and the UK, obviously, and now obviously went to the States. Then last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
But in terms of what I see, like if I've ever got a European athlete and they want to do American shows and European shows, I tell them always do the American shows first, because generally what will happen, and you boys will find this out, is what we do in Europe is we just follow what's happening over in America. A guy comes back from doing well in America, they're going to do well in Europe. Like, regardless whether they placed last all of last year. Last year, they were last. My first show, I go to America and I get top 5. As soon as I come over to Europe, we're going to be like, oh, that guy got top 5 in America. He's got to be top 5 in Europe, surely.
It's true.
And that happens a lot. Yeah, that happens a lot. So, yeah, that's really the only sort of thing that I see. Obviously, a lot of the European shows are judged by American head judges. You know, again as well. So they will have a slight favoritism towards a certain look. Judge A likes you harder, leaner, drier. Doesn't matter whether he's judging in the States or Europe. That's what he likes. Yeah. So again, you'll go from show to show, and there'll be discrepancies. So generally speaking, as I said, it's dependent on the judge rather than dependent on the actual area. I'll compete in America, I'll compete in Europe, I'll compete in China, whatever you compete. Dependent on the judge really more than anything else.
So is there any difference to the look in Asia? Because I did see some shows last year and I was like, oh, is it worth going out there? It's a lot more money, it's a lot more flights, this, that, and the other. And I was just like, nah, fuck it, there's no point.
The guys are stacked, bro, out there. Like the guy, you got like, they've got them tiny joints. They've got them big muscle bellies. You know what I mean? So if you don't fit in with that, you either do one thing: you win or you come last. Like that's where you'll go. You know, and it's depending on whether you want to risk that money. You know, if you've not got that structure that they have, because every ethnicity will have a slightly different structure, yeah? If you've not got that structure that they have, they might even really like it and say, fuck me, this guy looks ridiculously good. He looks different to everybody else. He's got the win. Or on the other side, they say, he looks different to everybody else. He's lost.
Yeah.
You've got to be willing to take that chance if you want to go and do that.
Yeah. And the way that I see it is, like, as you said, like every ethnicity has like a different structure. They look different. So when people say, oh, they're judging this different, I'm like, they're just judging from the majority. You know, they're judging for what's there. Like, if, you know, in Asia, small joints, big ass legs, big quads, small waist, round muscle bellies, you know, they're judging what's in front of them. So that's kind of where I was like for myself, because I'm quite round, bigger muscle bellies. I saw that, you know, in the States, they like that kind of look. So I was like, okay, let me dabble myself in the States and see how I actually get on there based on the majority that I see all the time. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I want to see what's going on in the States.
So would you go to Asia? Would you?
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to think about that. We'll have to have a look to see how I get on in the States. Because, yeah, look, I've got small joints, but the guys in Asia, they also have a different look to me in a certain way. So it's like, yeah, I got big muscle bellies. You don't know. We never know. Because you see, Corey went to Asia and he did really well.
But he's also, like Rob said earlier, he's an Olympian, a top 6 Olympian. So if you do well there, you kind of have to be doing well everywhere.
Yeah, I guess so. But we'll see. I mean, Gabs is competing in Asia this year. So, you know, depending if I'm still in shape. But yeah, nah, it's been a pleasure having you on, Rob. You've actually absolutely dropped a lot of gems here for
definitely.
the guys, man. Yeah,
I just looked at the time. I was like, shit.
Yeah,
And
it's
the hour was
flew
gone. I
by.
was like, it just flew. Yeah.
Oh shit, 7:30 already. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got another call. I'm gonna be 2 or 3 minutes late for, but it's fine. It's cool.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think so one of the things that we always like to say to the guys or ask, the guest is, if you were to give, some advice to up and coming competitors, people trying to get the pro card, what would be
even pros
as well, but competitors as a whole that want to do really well in the industry, what would be like one of the main advice you give them?
Be smart in what you do, man. Like, be smart in what you do in terms of picking your shows. Like, we've already spoke about that. Like, in terms of picking your shows, be smart in that. Be smart in, like someone said to me the other day, and I thought it's the first time I ever heard it in all the years I've been doing it. Someone said to me, prep is actually won or lost before you even start prepping, the choices that you make before you start prep. Like, who am I coached by? And this ain't a fucking plug for my services whatsoever, but who am I coached by? You can lose prep before you even start it if you pick the wrong coach. In terms of, do they actually understand the criteria? Do they know what they're talking about? Can they help me? Do we get along? Like, are our personalities right? Because I tell you right now, my personality ain't right for a lot of people, because they don't, like we spoke about earlier. They've been puppied forever, and I ain't gonna puppy nobody. But people might need that. People might need that. So that means if someone chooses me to start their prep with, and they can't get on with me, that prep's going to be failed before it even starts. So be smart in your decisions, not only with your coach, but with your shows, like with the money that you spend, with the people around you. Like, I genuinely, like, I consider myself reasonably successful. Like, I genuinely probably speak to 3 or 4 people a day. Like, 3 or 4 people a day. So I'm trying to be smart in the people that I speak to every day. So be smart in what you do. That's really, really like the most pressing thing. Like, really think about it. Really think about the shows that you pick. Really think about the money that you spend. Really think about the environment that you're in. And is that where you want to be? Like, if I want to be a pro, then all my efforts, time, money is going into being in that environment. If I just want to do one show, I don't really need the best coach. I could probably get away with coaching myself. I probably don't really need to be in the best environment. I probably could train at Pure Gym. Like, if that's my goal, just to do one show. But if it's not your goal and you really do want to aspire to be that top pro and that go and get that card, make sure that you're making those smart choices in what you're doing every day.
Perfect. Yeah, man. No, it's great advice, man. And I hope for loads of people take it on board, because Rob has a lot of experience in the game. It's made most people that's been on this podcast has coached a lot of them as well. That's the show. So yeah, all right. It's been a pleasure having you on, Rob.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Any longer, because I know you're busy.
So my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
No worries, man. Well, speak to you later.
Man.
Have a good
man.
one. Take care.